Ever dream of that perfect community? A place where you just belong? But what happens when that dream feels a million miles away, and instead, you're just left feeling kind of lonely? Well, today we're going to dive right into that tension, the gap between the ideal church we all hope for and the solitude that so many of us actually feel.
In this question, this is really at the heart of it all, isn't it? The church is meant to be this home for everyone, a place for real connection and support. But for a lot of people, that's just not what it's like. So what do you do when the one place that's supposed to welcome you with open arms feels like it doesn't have a spot for you?
So let's start with the dream. What does that ideal community even look like? Well, the theologian Dietrich Bonhoeffer, drawing on some really ancient scripture, gives us this beautiful vision of what it could be.
I mean, just listen to that. It's from the Psalms. This isn't some quiet, formal thing. He talks about a throng, a multitude. It's packed with joy and praise and celebration. It paints this incredible picture of a community that's alive and moving together, totally in sync.
And when you break that feeling down, look at what it actually is. It's not just about showing up to the same building. It's about celebrating things together. It's about walking together, and notice it says slowly, like you're savoring the journey. It's a place where you're genuinely supported, a place where you can actually heal. Now that is the kind of community that feels like home.
So you can think of this ideal community kind of like a bicycle. It needs two wheels to move forward. The first wheel is this vertical connection. That's worship. It's our direct line to God, and it's the entire reason we even gather in the first place. It gives the whole thing direction and purpose.
And then you've got the second wheel, fellowship. This is the horizontal connection, the one we have with each other. And when it's the real deal, you just know it. It's sharing a meal and laughing so hard you can't breathe. It's when you completely lose track of time because you just don't want the day to end. You absolutely need both wheels, worship and fellowship, to get anywhere.
But let's be honest, as beautiful as that dream is, for a lot of us, it's just a dream. So now we have to shift gears and talk about the painful reality for those who feel like that ideal community is totally out of reach. And this is the hard truth of it, for all sorts of reasons. Maybe where you live, your circumstances, or even past hurts, that vibrant community, that place you never want to leave, it just doesn't exist for some people. That second wheel of the bicycle is missing, and man, it can feel incredibly lonely.
So if that's you, is that it? Is that the end of the story? No, not at all. And this is where Bonhoeffer gives us this incredibly profound idea that kind of builds a bridge from that loneliness to a totally different kind of connection.
This right here is a total game changer. What Bonhoeffer is saying is that the benefits of community, the grace, the support, that connection, they aren't just limited to being physically in the same room with people. You can still tap into them, you can still grasp them through faith, even when you're completely alone.
And if you want proof, look no further than the story of John. Here's a guy who was exiled to this remote island, Patmos. He was totally, completely cut off from his community. You literally can't imagine a more profound state of isolation.
But listen to what John says about his experience. He wasn't defined by being alone. He says, I was in the Spirit. Even in total exile, that spiritual connection, that vertical relationship with God wasn't just there, it was alive, it was powerful. He was alone, but he was not disconnected.
And this contrast really gets to the heart of it. Through our human eyes, John's situation looks like a total failure. He's lonely, he's powerless, he's been defeated. But from God's perspective, that exact same situation was a time of incredible grace, a moment for a uniquely deep connection that probably couldn't have even happened any other way.
Okay, so that's a really powerful idea. But how do we actually make that practical? How can we take John's experience and apply it to our own lives, especially in those moments when trying to connect with God just feels hard or even impossible?
Let's just be real for a second. Sometimes prayer is hard. The words just won't come, you're too tired, you might even feel like, what's the point? That is a completely normal human struggle, and there is absolutely zero shame in feeling that way.
And the advice here is just so simple and freeing. You don't have to force it, just be honest. Step 1, just tell God, hey, I can't do this right now. And then step 2, just give permission. Can you please just look at my heart instead? It's not about finding the perfect words. It's about having a heart that's open.
Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to this number, 1. It just takes one single thread of connection. It might feel super fragile, it might feel thin, but it is more than enough.
And this is the most important thing to remember. Your only job is to not be the one who cuts that thread. God is always holding on to the other end, always trying to keep that connection going with you. The temptation when we're in pain is to just snip the line ourselves. Don't do it. Just let it be.
And this all leads us to the ultimate takeaway. Because where there is even a single fragile thread of connection to God, there is always hope. Always.
And what that promise means is that you are never truly alone. It means that through God, you're spiritually tied to the people you love, no matter how far apart you are. It means trusting that God will work out a reunion. Maybe it'll be here on earth, or maybe it'll be in the life to come. But as long as you hold on to that single thread connecting you to God, your hope is safe. No one and nothing can ever steal it from you.
So, as we wrap this up, I just want to leave you with this one question to think about. In the whole mess of your life, the good parts, the lonely parts, the connections, the goodbyes, where is your single thread connected to right now? And what might it look like to just protect that one connection and trust that it's enough?